You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Watch
Hello.
out, everybody. It's the Code Rad Show again. Hello, Jim.
Hello, Jason. How are you?
I'm great. Glad to be here another
Glad to be
week
here.
chatting about
Yeah.
strange things. This week it is Lizard Baby.
Yes, indeed. Very strange. I see the title is Bizarre. The Bizarre World of Hideshi Hino. And yes, this gets very, very bizarre, as we'll see. We will definitely see it gets very bizarre. Um, let's
Yeah,
see.
it's definitely a journey.
Oh, yeah.
The levels of weirdness of the episode vary.
Yes.
This is a short movie, an episode of like an anthology TV show, like a 50-minute movie.
Yeah.
And it takes some twists and turns. You think it's going one way and then it goes a different way. And a very enjoyable, surreal trip of Japanese fatherhood.
Yes. It'll make you glad. It might make people glad that they don't have kids.
Yeah, Japanese fatherhood, and where the father is a horror writer.
Yes.
Quite like Stephen King, who about half his output, the main character is a horror writer. I have to say this was the product, the creation of Hideshi Hino, a Japanese manga artist who seems to write and draw stuff in the same vein as Junji Ito.
Yes.
So
very similar style.
Yeah, really looks like some gross horror, surreal, and this is my first experience with his work. I haven't read any of his comic books, but this is adapted from one of his comic books. So maybe you can shed some light on what exactly is the deal with this show and the comics, the manga.
Yeah, I can do that. So sure. So basically, here we have the cover of the DVD release. So Japanese title, you can see the characters in the pinkish, Watashi no Akachan. So in the Japanese version, it's just called My Baby. That's it. But I kind of like Lizard Baby better. I think that's a more. We were at the Berlin Farmers Market, and some guy was selling DVDs, and this is one of them.
Right.
And I was like, that looks cool. I got to get that.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it didn't disappoint. I did a Google search for reviews, and a lot of people didn't like it, which I think is a shame because I liked it.
Yeah.
Here we have Hideshi Hino. He's still alive. He's actually now in his 80s.
Yeah.
But I think mostly his I think most of his work came out during the 70s.
Oh,
I
really?
believe. Yeah. And he's done lots of things like I'm not sure where this is from, but I like the image and the quotes. So that's kind of gives you an idea of what his stuff is like.
Yeah. I get like a Plants vs. Zombies vibe from him. Which
I didn't think about that, but yeah, okay, all right, that works.
First, of course. So maybe Plants vs. Zombies was influenced by his style of artwork.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, okay, I can see that. Let's see. Well, you'll see that a lot of his manga deals with animals, like the bugs from hell. I thought that was just a great shot right there. So figured how to use that for tonight. The bugs from hell, and also not only does he do manga about bugs, he also does manga about pigs.
Oh my!
Here is a shot from one of his manga series called Town of Pigs. I don't fully know what's going on here, but it's pretty disturbing. So let's see. So this here is the manga version of My Baby, Watashi no Akachan. Let's see. There it is again. We'll definitely see a lot of fetus imagery in Lizard Baby tonight.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Let me just say
sure.
one thing: the imagery of the fetuses, the embryos, and all that stuff. In a former life, I was studying evolutionary anthropology, and
Yeah.
one of the principles of evolutionary anthropology is, or one of the concepts is, ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny, which is, I mean,
Hmm.
that's ridiculous. It's I'm not smart or anything, but the concept behind that is pretty simple. That basically, the ontogeny like basically means individual's development. So you start off as a embryo, and your development, basically you start off as a little shrimp, and you grow up into a mammal, a human, if you happen to be a human. And phylogeny is like the history of your species. And so it's basically saying that like a single individual goes through these steps that kind of copies the steps that your whole species went through. You're starting off as a shrimp because that's how your species started off. But you were a shrimp before you evolved in arms, legs, lungs, and stuff, and you eventually became a mammal, and you eventually became a human. Hopefully I explained that well. But I mean, that's something I have not thought about in 20 years. And I think that they were kind of getting at this with the diagrams of the embryos, and sort of like just the theme of this episode. So I figured just a little bit of evolutionary theory I'd throw out there.
No, very cool. I did not know of any of that, but I tip my hat to you, sir. With your that was very, very, yeah. That was, yeah. I forgot you were you got to go to Africa, I think, for a while, right?
Yep.
That's amazing. Yeah.
It was fun, but just no money in anthropology, so
No, unfortunately
yeah,
not.
quit that.
No. Um, let's see. So our story opens here with a writer, Umeki. I think he's just a writer because I think he mentions that I'm not good at horror. He tries to, he's going through writer's block right now.
Yeah. Yeah, his publisher comments that his stuff is not scary, so
No,
yeah,
Marsh the Ghost. It's like it's more funny but not scary,
yeah.
and it's tough because his wife Akiko is expecting.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to, he needs this whatever he's writing on to be. He needs his next piece to be a hit because having a baby is not. It ain't cheap.
Mm.
So basically, yes, he does see his superiors, and his idea, his first draft, he shows them is called March of the Ghosts, and they think, why is this scary? Why is this, you know, this is more funny. This is not horror. This is just comedy. He goes,
Mm.
well, I'm sorry, I'm not very good at writing horror. Um, Remember this guy on the left saying, what's the most, scariest thing that's been
Mm.
lived through, and he doesn't really have anything really that scary he's lived through, which is good, but
Yeah.
so basically um he takes his wife to the hospital to check on the baby, and he sees this poster on the wall that has all these different fetuses. And what do we got here? Hito Buta Niwa Tori. So we have here some left to right. We've got person, we've got human, we've got pig, we've got chicken, we've
Mm.
got turtle. I'm not sure last. I think that one might be newt, I think, and then the one on the end is some kind of fish. But you can
Okay.
see how they're very similar looking. So he has this idea. Sorry, I don't want to put that one in there. Um, why not write a story where the wife has a lizard for
Yeah.
a baby, and superiors kind of seem to kind of like it. So okay, let's run with it. Let's go with it. His wife, however, isn't happy because she says, "Well, I'm expecting, so don't you think it's kind of insensitive you're writing about and it's
Mm-hmm.
me about having a lizard. If I had a lizard baby, I would have an abortion." Um, and here is where it kind of gets interesting because here it kind of splits into two realities.
Yeah.
We have one reality where things are normal, and another reality where his wife actually is having a lizard baby,
Yes.
and and
Although in this reality, it looks more like a frog.
it does actually. It does. Yeah, it does. Ribbit. Um, and she's saying that I don't care if our baby is a frog or a lizard or wherever I'm keeping it. It's my baby. I'm going to raise him, her, it, whatever. Um, we see it does look like a frog actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can see this kind of ooze, dripping from its mouth, and yeah, it's just it's not a baby, it's a monster. I remember he was saying things like that. It's not even human.
And I mean, it also looks very fake. And you're thinking,
It
all
does.
right, so it's a fake looking monster. Okay, I mean, I don't mind fake looking monsters. This is going to be that kind of show. But I
Yeah,
mean, there are some surprises down the
there
road.
are.
Yeah.
Well, she takes it to takes her new baby to the fish market, and people are just take did you hear about the lady? That's the lady that had a lizard or a frog for a baby. Can you believe it? It's just
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
got a lot of gossip going around.
Or maybe she had a miscarriage and just went crazy and grabbed a lizard to be her baby.
Oh, I remember now. Yes, another
Yeah,
aspect.
some people gossiping or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Now I was remembering that I remember now this slide right here. Um the doctor was saying about how embryos, or sorry, fetuses dream, and we mentioned more about about being a shrimp, dreaming about being a fish, and being whatever, then being dreaming about being a human. Well, apparently the baby never reached the end of that stage of that
Mm,
evolution, so it stopped at lizard. So or a frog. Um, so it looks like they're feeding. Forget about Gerber, forget about that stuff. It's eating raw meat now. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in this, let's just call it reality. I guess reality two. I guess the not reality of reality. Um, Umeki is becoming upset because he's like, feeding time's over. What about my dinner?
Yeah.
And she's saying, well, stop calling it, like, it's not feeding time. It's not a pet. It's our son.
Yeah.
Um, he points out of a big mistake, crunch, and of course, baby won a finger and baby got a finger. So yeah, so now he's got a bloody finger now. Let's see. I think this is back to the other reality where things seem to be normal, and yeah, I thought that's kind of strange. So he basically takes his wife to live with his in-laws,
Right, yeah.
and I would love to see the baby's birth, but I'm just so busy. Wouldn't you want to see
Yeah.
your child's birth, but maybe in Japan, maybe if you're expected to work, you have to be there regardless if you're seeing your firstborn.
Oh, yeah, that's totally plausible.
Yeah, yeah. Remember that movie Gung Ho with Michael Keaton, where
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
remember one of the workers said what's wrong? It's like, well, sir, he's thinking about, he wants to be with his wife, to be through or be at her side for his son's birth. And very sternly, the big boss turns, is this true? And he goes like, no, sir, I want to be here with you,
Mm,
doing my duty
yeah.
as a worker of Asahi Motors. Like, good, but I think, yeah, sorry, boss, I'm not going to be there for see my I want to see my firstborn being born. So yeah, so
Yeah.
sorry, I ain't going to be there. This next scene, he cracks an egg and a chick comes out, a
Yeah.
baby chick. So now, and then the
Uh,
frog lizard comes and just eats it. Um, but it's become a very curious baby lizard because now it wants to see what's outside,
yeah.
and apparently it winds up attacking the the boy next door.
Yeah, yeah, it's a serious attack.
Yes, and there's the kid, or what's left
Yep,
of the kid.
yep.
So yeah, and now he's saying it's like, well,
Yeah,
no problem. We'll just bury the body, no problem.
yeah,
That's all right, no problem at all. Um, but we kind of slowly from the one reality to the other, where his story has become a movie. So you've got a movie in a movie here.
yeah, yeah. I mean, to me, I read it as like all those scenes with that goofy looking rubber frog baby
Yes,
was the movie they were making based on what he wrote.
yes, indeed, yeah, yeah. Let's see here. So, well, he visits his in-laws a few days later,
Mm,
but he notices that there's no one there, which he thought thinks is unusual. Lights are out, nobody home, and he hears like this banging noise coming from upstairs. So he goes to see what it is, and he checks the crib, and he sees like this kind of like plasm saliva, like kind of we saw the frog puppet thing. We saw that saliva in its mouth,
yeah,
and we see, huh, another lizard baby.
yeah, yeah. A much
So
less goofy looking one.
exactly, yes, exactly. But so they just come home and they're like, "Oh, have you seen the baby? Isn't it really cute?" Number one, why would you leave a baby by itself at
Yeah,
home? And number two, they seem like they're okay with their son being a lizard or half lizard, whatever.
yeah.
So this is just very, very strange. And they're acting like it's no big deal. And they're saying, "Well, what are you going to name it?" So I'm not sure if this is him kind of falling into insanity, if what we're seeing, if that's what it is, or just basically hard to tell what's real and what's not in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's that kind of show, and I do like that kind of show where you're trying to figure out or I guess you call it an unreliable narrator. Is he
Yeah,
crazy? How much of this is real? How much of this is his imagination?
is he going crazy? Have they gone
Mhm.
crazy? We don't really know.
Yeah,
He sees his doctor again, and he's like, "Well, hey, if doc, if it's not since it's not human, it's only half human, I can kill it." And he says, "Well, how can you even think of such a thing?
yeah,
That's crazy. It's ridiculous. Why would you think that?" So it's kind of everyone against him.
yeah,
Um, his superior is being told that it's been so successful, this lizard baby, that we're going to have a sequel and we're going to give you 50% more. And he doesn't really care. He
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
his life has just basically gone to sod, as they say in the UK, gone to sod. Um,
yeah.
they're sleeping in bed. They're trying to sleep, and they hear glass
Yeah,
breaking. Yep, baby has gone for a walk.
yeah.
So they do find the baby that's gone through a window, but totally normal for a child to go through a newborn to go to break through a glass window. Totally
Yeah.
normal. They're relieved, and I forgot to mention that Umeki has a dog, a corgi named
Mhm.
Taro, and he notices now that Taro was not there.
Yeah.
Only a bloody blanket is left behind.
Yep.
And is that a dog collar in its mouth? It is. So
Yeah.
you can see. So their baby ate the dog.
Mhm.
And it's like, I'm sorry, mommy didn't know that you wanted to eat something that was alive.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is just crazy. He ate taro. This is not normal behavior for a baby, and this is not normal at all. It's an ugly monster.
Yeah, yeah, the raw
And
meat was not good enough.
no, so had to have live fresh meat, dog
Yeah.
meat. So the in-laws are trying to hold him back from his outburst. But yeah, I think it's um so he's seen with the superiors again, and he wants the ending changed. And they're like, no, I like it how it is. I think it's totally normal for them to live on as a mother and father with a lizard as a son, as a child.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you got to change. You got to stab him. And he tries stabbing the
Yeah.
baby, and they hold him back. Um, he drives home again, only to see the place is empty once again. And this time he sees a human baby, but here he's holding a knife. And then first we see a human baby and then a lizard baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, he does well actually yeah, it runs away. It does bite his finger and he throws it against the wall, but it kind of
Yeah.
hits the wall and just goes to downstairs. He follows it downstairs and he sees this kind of like plasm, that stuff again is kind of dripping from the ceiling, and he looks up and then up there it is.
Nah.
So the wrestling, it's chowing down on his left shoulder there. He does eventually stab it, like so, and it is bloody. But I think I remember in this scene we hear human cries.
Mm.
So I'm not sure if he killed his own son or if I don't know.
Mm.
I'm not 100% sure, but you know, he's back to where we started before from the first scene. He seems to be pretty calm and happy. Um, Everything seems to be the same, but yet we see the lizard baby again, and that's really all I have. It's moving the studio, so yeah.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
I enjoyed it, but it was just a little hard to follow. Like you said, I'm not a very reliable narrator, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. It wasn't exactly. It was low budget. Let's face it. It was a low budget film, but I didn't mind that.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if maybe the confusing ending was because they didn't want to go too dark for television.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know I'm not even sure what year this was made. Oh, 2004.
Yes.
So I don't know what Japanese television standards were, how dark they wanted to get with that show. That, well, possibly, the lizard baby is still alive, so the worst thing you could imagine probably didn't happen. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, it is, because they're more. It's not as bad as here. I mean, here's pretty strict, but
Yeah,
as far as violence goes, I think But I know even they have the limits over there.
yeah,
There's certain body parts you can't show, and there are limits. There's people say, oh, so there's no censorship. It's like, well, no, there is. There's censorship over there, but just it's not like here. But
yeah,
we saw how much of that Battle of Planets got cut out from the
yeah,
Japanese version. So yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure myself. I believe the manga that I remember, I did read. It's a one shot. It's one issue.
yeah.
And folks or viewers can find it on YouTube, or not. I'm sorry, if they do Google search, they can find it. But as I remember the ending, people around the world start giving birth to various like animal babies, like cows and
Huh.
horses, and apparently the reason why is pollution has gotten so bad, it's causing mutations to happen in births.
Hmm.
It's America. It's all over the world.
Yeah.
So that's how it ends. So it's just kind of kind of
Hmm.
crazy. But here it just kind of just ends, and
Yeah.
we what's reality, what's not. It's hard to say in this movie, but
Yeah, yeah. They definitely went for a more psychological angle in this
they
show.
did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that Hideshi Hino, he was involved in something called the Guinea Pig series.
Yes.
I don't know exactly what that is, but I remember hearing that was supposed to be really extreme horror. It was
Yeah.
it was available only like as a bootleg in America, and it was in the catalogs. I would have these catalogs from these bootleg video places that would have all these mostly horror, but other stuff from like other
Yeah.
countries or stuff that was out of print. Some American stuff was not available, so the only way you could get it was a bootleg. And I remember always seeing these guinea pig videos, and the descriptions were they were extreme horror. I guess very, very discomforting and extreme. And I just never got around to getting one, so I don't know. And so, I mean, like the first half of this show is not like that at all. It's quite goofy, and I enjoyed it. But then it does take a turn for the darker. And does it really, or is it just an imagination? Yeah. The show does not answer that. But I mean, I like that. I like that a lot. I like shows that make you guess, that you're not quite sure what is the reality of what happens.
Yeah, it's like, is the character going crazy? Is the supporting cast
Yeah.
going crazy? Am I going crazy? I don't know. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just it's really I think for me, I think the idea was just so crazy, it was so out there. It's like I just was hooked to it. It's like that's
Yeah.
insane, but I want to see it. So yeah, a woman has a lizard and for a baby, and breaks windows and attacks their neighbor's kid, and just like yeah, so just and it's like they act like it's all normal. Just yeah, it's just a wacky idea, but just great idea. Execution was a little bit like yeah, but I still yeah, a lot of folks on Google weren't very kind to this. They were giving it very low reviews, but I liked it.
Yeah, yeah, it reminded me a bit of the Japanese television adaptation of Shadow over Innsmouth, which
Oh yes,
I reviewed about
yes,
a year ago or so, and
yep.
yeah, it was kind of similar to that. Same shot on video look, about similar makeup and latex mask effects and stuff like that. Tone was pretty similar.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it for if you take it what it is. It's not if you're looking for special effects, you're not going to find it here. But
Oh yeah, it was great. It didn't drag for a minute. It was
no,
inventive, imaginative. Yeah, very
it's
good.
very fast paced. Yeah, very
Oh
fast
yeah,
paced.
definitely gets the Code Rad seal of approval.
I give exactly. I feel the same way. And folks, you can find it on YouTube also. Just do a search for
Yeah,
Lizard Baby Jhar, and you'll find it. I encourage everybody out there to watch it to kind of get a better idea of what we're talking about. And I think if you like really crazy out there stuff, I think you'll like this. So we did. So I think you will too.
give it a chance. Thank you, Jim,
Yeah.
and we'll see everyone next week.
All right. Jason, take care.
Yep, you too. Bye for now.
Bye for everybody. Bye. Bye.